lives in France, so or Spain. Sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
But I mean, Wally's here. Wally's like one of the best in the world
That's
at
true,
this matchup.
But Wally has been a little bit more inactive. I feel like his melee's taking maybe a little bit of a backseat.
Yeah.
But you know, and shout outs to Wally, an amazing Pokemon player. I didn't actually know that until like earlier this year. Like really good at Pokemon.
I did know that from the Smogon days.
Oh, were you also?
Yeah. But I was.
Okay.
It was not on. I mean, it wasn't under the same tag for Wally. Wally was on Fuga back in the day.
Gotcha.
But I was not good. Fuga was really good, and he also built teams for like a lot of tournament players. But yeah, it's definitely. Listen, Melee's definitely a better game than Pokemon. I'm gonna just say that straight up. But shout out to all the Melee Pokemon people. Blunder also plays Melee. He's not very good.
There's
but,
actually
like,
a decent amount of crossover.
Yeah.
Also, it happened a little bit ago, but something that I'm sorry I'm voice cracking so much, everybody. But it happened a little bit ago, but something that I really like to see. There again, Mr. McCarthy is wave dashing to ledge as Peach. This is something that you don't often see Peach players do. Even a lot of top Peach players will do float to ledge, and most of the time it doesn't really matter. But something that Mr. McCarthy has been doing is wave dash to ledge and then using the float to do like float back air, regrab ledge, which I think is really good, especially in this matchup where, you know, it's throwing out an invincible hitbox while Marth up Bs is great if you can just trade with him or hit him or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that definitely is huge. I definitely remember like top 100 Peach players talking about it back in the day and being like, seriously, y'all need to start wave dashing back to ledge because like, I mean, Peaches just don't wave dash much in general because it's not like
a little bit
great.
awkward with the float, but as long as you tap Y or X and you don't hold it, then you'll be fine.
Yeah. If you're maintaining float, that's really valuable.
Also, if you have wave dash notches, it actually makes it way easier because that doesn't count as a down press, so it doesn't activate float.
Oh,
so
okay.
Quick,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, quick tech for any Peach players.
So yeah, that is a good thing to know for Mr. McCarthy. The rest of it, maybe not going so well, but this is a top 100 player.
Jude is very good. And, you know, this is one of those matchups where, like, I'm going to be honest, it's not that great for Peach. But it's like, it's another one of those where it's like on paper, I think that this is horrible for Peach. But in practice, you can kind of get it done. But you have to play it very specifically. You have to get the turnips going. You have to make all your punishes count. You have to get those good edge guards.
Yeah, that was a great edge guard from Mr. McCarthy. But yeah, this is a matchup that a lot of like newer Peach players don't really like, but really experienced Peach players are like, I mean, I definitely heard Wally say it's pretty good for Peach. Aura thinks Peach just wins the matchup straight up.
That's crazy. I mean, I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like, I don't think Aura is like a Peach like, you know,
Doomer.
Whatever the opposite of a Doomer is.
He's not a Peach believer.
Believer, yeah. But he's like relatively neutral, but he just genuinely thinks that Peach beats Marth.
That's great.
And I mean, we have seen like a decent amount of upsets in this matchup.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. In practice, it's a whole different story from on paper.
Yeah.
Because on paper, it's like, how do you even get in ever? But in practice, it's like, well, it's kind of hard to box out Peach the whole time, every single time.
It's also hard because a lot of like, I mean, you know, when I started playing, it was like the only Peach that I was seeing play was Armada, and it was just like Armada is clearly better than everybody.
Yeah.
So it's hard to actually think about like who wins a lot of the matchups.
That's the thing is Armada would go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, these matchups are terrible," and it's like, "Are you sure, Adam? Because it doesn't look so terrible when you're beating Mewtwo King 13 times in a row."
Yeah. SmashCon 18. If you haven't watched it, best grands of all time.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that I was there in person because that was awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was not there in person, but I mean.
Well, you were NorCal back then, so you get
well, I wasn't even active back then, but I was watching Melee. Like I watched that live, but I wasn't like competing. Back then, I was like, oh, like shit, I gotta start going to tournaments.
Enough about us though. This stage, I think, is like the biggest thing in the matchup for Peach. Obviously, it still has that thing we were talking about in the Peach Sheik matchup, where once you lose the lead, it's kind of hard to get in. But It's a little bit less so because Sheik still has down throw up air at the end of the day, right? But Marth doesn't really have a guaranteed kill follow-up on Peach, and so you really can, like, I've seen top-level games where Marth cannot get kills until like 180%. I've seen games in MDVA where, you know, Melon will be playing against Malachi or whatever. Malachi will live to 180, and then Melon will be in the lead the whole time, and then Malachi switches it at the end, gets the lead back, and then all of a sudden, even though Melon did 400%, Malachi's still in the lead. And so Mr. McCarthy is down right now, but Peach is very volatile in a way that Marth isn't on this stage, which can, you know, potentially be able to swing the game back.
Yeah, and I do like how Jude is able to find kills, like on the last stock, just wave dashing like through a turn up and getting an F smash, reading the throw from up close. Those sorts of reads are definitely going to be more common for kills on Peach than setups on this stage, because there's not really any setups. So, like, maybe you get like some pivot tipper if they DI bad, but like probably not. So, and like they're waiting out a roll. Tries to get something cheeky on an edge guard, but Mr. McCarthy makes it back. And Marth struggles off the ledge. Like, it's one of the easier characters to ledge trap, but I don't really know how Peach does it, because, you know.
I think with turnips, mostly.
So it's like, if you don't already have a turnip, it seems kind of tough.
The thing is, it's kind of paradoxical with Marth, because he has a hard time getting off the ledge, but he's honestly one of the best characters on the ledge. So a lot of times you'll see Marth, like, just kind of chill there for a while. Mewtwo was really good at that back in the day. He would just kind of chill on the ledge, someone would come close, you'd fair them, and then he'd go back on the stage. But like I was saying, this is what I'm talking about, where it's like you can get those edge guards, but it's very hard for Marth to get the same thing. And so now Mr. McCarthy, despite being down 4 stocks to 2, it's now 2-2. And he's at 116, but you know, it's on Jude to actually find the kill and actually get it done. You need to rinse repeat so many times that Mr. McCarthy has so many chances. If Jude messes up at any point, it's you know, it can be bad. That being said though, Jude did not mess up at any point. So, you know, that's just Jude being a great player.
Yeah, and that was set up off the bad DI on the back air from Mr. McCarthy, and then Jude getting the down air read, but there weren't that many options that Mr. McCarthy had at the point without float.
Yeah,
so.
Jude had expended most of them.
That's I mean, that's why Jude's a top 100 player. Like, that sort of like being very methodical and going for all the Peach options on the edge guard.
Oh, and great spacing around that Nair. Nair is a very hard to punish move. You need to really be on your stuff. Oh my God!
I ignored that turn. I didn't realize.
I was like, oh, it's a little wide, but no, Mr. McCarthy was thinking one step ahead.
Yeah, that was really genius or really lucky. I don't know which one it was, but I'm just gonna call it genius.
I'm gonna say genius.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say genius.
Yeah, see, just DIing well in the F throw, no potential follow up.
Oh, and that could be, that's 30%. Not quite anything more, but you know, that's the start. You know, you're not in CC %. Maybe one down smash could make something big happen. Maybe get them off stage. That being said, though, Mr. McCarthy needs to get down. Needs to get back in the center stage. Tipper Fair not gonna kill yet, even from that high.
All right, let's see how Mr. McCarthy gets out of the corner. F smash, still not gonna do it without a tipper.
Oh, and misses the grab. I think maybe Wispy had a little bit just something to say there. Oh, barely gets back.
Oh, almost.
Mr. McCarthy still fighting for their lives.
Down smash, spot dodge, down smash. That's the stuff you gotta go for at 180.
Oh, Tipper Fair at 198 after the hit. And yeah, that's the thing. As Marth, you just need to stay disciplined, right? It doesn't matter how late you kill them. It just matters that you kill them.
And you just kind of got to go back to Dreamland, I feel like.
I think it's easily your best stage in this matchup. Peach players maybe disagree with me, but I think so for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. McCarthy agrees with you. No thinking before going back. It just takes so long for Marth to kill you here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's no jump on Mr. McCarthy, so yeah, Jude is scoping out the float because they knew that Mr. McCarthy couldn't jump above it, but Mr. McCarthy smartly just kind of drifted away from it, doing a little bit of, you know, puff stuff.
I like that Mr. McCarthy is going for the turn. Oh, the power rolled like 3 times.
Rolled 3 times into power shield on the Z drop.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was very impressive. Okay, gets a neutral B. Still in advantage here.
Oh, the reverse hit's actually big for Mr. McCarthy. Not getting hit off stage and, you know, now having another chance.
Oh, nice offset tech
Yeah.
on there. That was huge.
Yeah, I think that's, honestly, it's kind of the future of Omsitecking because, like, there's been a lot of discussion of, like, is Omsitecking almost worse on edge guards than it is, like, you know, than it is to not Omsitech sometimes because everyone's so ready for it. But I think that's the part where Omsitechs have a lot of utility still is in the middle or at the beginning of a combo. You just Omsitech to throw off what their timing is, what they're looking for, and then you can just get out sometimes for free. And, yeah, you got to be careful with those dash attacks when they're still in ASDI down CC %. And I like Mr. McCarthy going for the cross-up nair instead of the down smash. You know, a lot less counterplay to that one.
Yeah, yeah. There's also the like weird up smash on like when they're starting to get up from the up B, but that one's really hard.
That one's a lot easier on Sheik. Sheik has a little bit more, you know, time for you to get up there and get that done. Marth, it's a little bit shaky. It's hard to get there in time and then also do it precise enough.
Oh, big
and that
combo.
Oh no, the trade there actually screwed up everything. I think if there was no trade, Mr. McCarthy for sure would have taken stock.
Yeah, yeah. The up smash I only see Lod really do on Marth. Like no other Peach like really is able to get it.
And of course, it goes without saying, Lod, one of the most practiced Peaches in the Marth matchup of all time.
Yeah.
Played against Rishi, you know, for all their days.
This is Mr. McCarthy's looking really good right now. Oh, scouts out the shield grab, but again, just holding away, down and away off the F throw, not gonna get anything.
Oh, nice arms attack. Yeah, and Mr. McCarthy just, I feel like he's been very comfortable with, like, you know, you're pushing me into the corner, but I'm not going to let that make me panic. I'm not going to roll in. I'm not going to go for what you're scoping me out for. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to space you out, and I'm going to, you know, try and get turn-ups, try to get, you know, a good opening. You know, not panicking, not going for panic options. I think it's super important, especially on a matchup like this.
Oh, the recovery toad actually works out. That was,
and that's what I'm talking about. You know, unconventional options can be good when you save them, you know? Saving that toad for, you know, game 3, it's like the perfect time to use it.
Gets a punish off of Marth grabbing the turn up and being in lag from that.
Yeah, Marth is so funny because he has a really good, he's very slender, so he has a very good time catching the turnips, but then he has them in his hand and he's like, what do I do with this?
Yeah, not too much. So that's a lot of percent on Marth there.
Yeah, this is huge. This is knockdown percent from pretty much any aerial except for down air.
And yeah, when Mr. McCarthy's able to get a turn up like off the Angel platform, looking real good. Without a turn up,
I think
Jude heavily in favor and neutral.
Yeah, I mean the turnip is like, that is the wedge in this matchup that like predicates basically everything for Peach, you know? Like the threat of the turnip and everything just changes everything about this matchup. Oh, and the turnip actually screwing over Mr. McCarthy there a little bit.
Yeah, that was almost a great flow chart. Uses the turn up to force him low and then gets the down air.
Yeah, gets him with the twinkle toes.
This is looking real good for Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah, I feel like just has, like, the first stock went way better, and then Mr. McCarthy was like, all right, it's game time. I'm in the lead, it's game time. I'm going to just, like, you know, just bleed Jude dry. You know, every time you try to get a stock, I'll get percent here and there, and then try to, you know, make that happen. But that being said, Jude gets a huge pivot, or not a pivot tipper, but just a tipper, and he's able to even stuff up.
It's always interesting seeing Peaches go for a read off the Angel platform instead of just pulling a turn up. Like, I don't know how they decide which one they... Oh, no.
Oh.
All right, well, Jude takes it 3-0.
Yeah.
Unfortunate SD for Mr. McCarthy, but, I mean, you got stuff to look at in that set, at least.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it wasn't a blowout